The deception we all believe. Picture this. You wake up tomorrow morning, and someone tells you that you have exactly 24 hours left to live. Not 24 years, not 24 months, just 24 hours. What would you do? Who would you call? What would suddenly become important, and what would you realize was completely meaningless? Now here's the uncomfortable truth that Roman philosopher Seneca discovered 2,000 years ago. You're already living under that sentence. We all are. Stop for a moment. If you're 25 years old, you have roughly 21,900 days left if you live to 85. If you're 35, you have 18,250 days. If you're 45, you have 14,600 days. But here's where it gets brutal. How many of those days will you actually live? How many will you spend truly awake, truly present, truly engaged with what matters? Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. The illusion of abundance, life is long enough. If you know how to use it, we live under a dangerous illusion. We think time is infinite. We act as if tomorrow is guaranteed, next year is certain, and decades stretch endlessly before us like an open highway." This is the first frame Seneca shatters. Time isn't scarce because life is short. Time is scarce because we're unconscious. Think about your last week. Can you remember Tuesday? What did you do on Wednesday afternoon? Where did Thursday evening go? The days blur together because we're not actually living them. We're sleepwalking through our own existence, postponing life until someday, when we have more money, more time, more certainty, more courage. Seneca observed, "Nothing is ours except time. This alone we receive, this alone we can lose." But look how we squander it. We spend years in jobs that drain our souls, telling ourselves it's temporary. We delay conversations with people we love until it's too late. We put off dreams, adventures, and growth until the right moment. We scroll through other people's lives instead of living our own. The deathbed perspective. Here's a thought experiment that will change how you see today. Imagine you're 80 years old, lying in a hospital bed. Your current self, the person you are right now, walks into the room. What would your 80-year-old self say to you? What would they beg you to start doing? What would they plead with you to stop wasting time on? I guarantee you, they wouldn't say, "I wish you had spent more time worrying about what people thought of you." They wouldn't say, "You should have procrastinated more." They wouldn't say, "You needed to be more afraid of taking risks." They would say, "Stop waiting. Start living. The time is now." The thieves of time, those who are preoccupied, cannot attend to life. Seneca identified the enemies of a well-lived life. He called them the preoccupied, people so busy being busy that they forget to be alive. There are three types of time thieves that rob us of our existence. The past-obsessed. These people live in yesterday. They replay old victories, nurse ancient wounds, and remain prisoners of what has already happened. What is the point, Seneca asked, of weeping over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. You cannot change what happened yesterday, last year, or in your childhood. Every moment you spend dwelling on the unchangeable past is a moment stolen from your present life. The future anxious. These people live in tomorrow. They're so worried about what might happen that they miss what is happening. They plan and postpone and prepare endlessly, but never actually begin. They save money for a future they may never see. They wait for perfect conditions that never arrive. Seneca warned, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. The externally driven, these are perhaps the most tragic of all. They live their entire lives trying to impress people they don't even like, pursuing goals that aren't their own, following paths chosen by society, family, or circumstance rather than by their authentic selves. They climb ladders leaned against the wrong walls. They win games they never wanted to play. They become successful at being someone else. The mirror moment. Look in the mirror right now, literally or figuratively. Ask yourself these questions. Am I living my life, or someone else's expectations of my life? Am I present in my own existence, or am I always somewhere else mentally? If I continue on my current path, will I be proud of the life I've lived? This isn't about perfection. It's about consciousness. It's about waking up to your own life before it's too late. The art of living, learning how to live, takes a whole life. Now comes the beautiful part. Seneca didn't write about the shortness of life to depress us. He wrote about it to liberate us. When you truly understand that your time is limited and precious, everything changes. Suddenly, you have permission to say no to things that don't matter, say yes to things that scare you but call to you, live according to your own values instead of others' expectations, be present in moments instead of always rushing to the next thing. The practice of conscious living. Seneca gave us practical wisdom for making life both longer and richer. Protect your time like it's sacred. It is not that we have so little time, but that we waste so much of it. Stop saying yes to everything. Your calendar should reflect your values, not everyone else's urgency. Every commitment you make is a piece of your life you're giving away. Choose carefully. Live each day as a complete life. Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. What if today were a whole lifetime? How would you live it? What would you prioritize? What would you stop worrying about? 3. Embrace your mortality. This sounds dark, but it's actually the most liberating practice possible. When you truly accept that you will die not someday in the abstract future, but as a real, approaching reality, you stop wasting time on trivial things. You forgive more quickly. You love more openly. You take meaningful risks. You speak your truth. The 10-10-10 rule. Here's a decision-making framework that will change your life. When facing any choice, ask yourself, how will I feel about this in 10 minutes? How will I feel about this in 10 months? How will I feel about this in 10 years? This perspective shift instantly separates what's urgent from what's important, what's temporary from what's lasting. The paradox of time wealth. Here's what Seneca discovered. The people who feel like they have the most time are those who waste the least of it. When you're fully present, moments expand. When you're living authentically, life feels rich and full. When you're conscious of mortality, you become grateful for each day instead of feeling entitled to endless tomorrows. Life is long enough if you know how to use it. The emotional climax. Your life is now. Let me tell you what Seneca would say if he could speak to you directly today. Your life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. This moment, right now, is your actual life happening. You are not waiting to live. You are not preparing to live. You are living. Every breath you take, every choice you make, every moment of awareness or unconsciousness, this is your existence. This is your chance. The people you love won't be here forever. Neither will you. The dreams you carry, the words you want to speak, the places you want to go, the person you want to become, there is no perfect moment coming. There is only now. Stop living like you have forever. You don't. None of us do. But here's the beautiful secret. You don't need forever. You just need to be awake for the time you have. Practical wisdom for today. So how do we apply Seneca's wisdom to our modern lives? How do we wake up from the trance of busyness and start actually living? Daily practices for conscious living. Morning question: if this were my last day, how would I want to spend it? Not morbidly, but consciously. This question cuts through the noise and reveals what actually matters. Evening reflection: was I present today? Did I live according to my values? What did I learn? Seneca practiced this daily review. It turns each day into a learning experience rather than just time that passes. Weekly assessment: am I spending my time on what I'll be proud of at the end of my life? This prevents years from slipping by in unconscious routine. The 3 life-changing shifts from busy to focused. Stop wearing busyness as a badge of honor. Being busy doesn't mean you're being productive or living well. It often means you're avoiding what really matters. Ask yourself, what would I do if I had unlimited time? Then ask, what would I do if I had very little time? The intersection of these answers is where you should focus your actual time. From postponing to prioritizing, someday is not a day of the week. When I have time never comes. If it matters to you, find a way to do it now, even in small steps. Want to write a book? Write a page today. Want to travel? Plan one trip this year. Want to reconnect with an old friend? Send that message now. From reacting to choosing, most people let their days happen to them. They react to whatever comes up, respond to every notification, and wonder where the time went. Conscious people choose their days. They decide what deserves their attention. They protect their time and energy for what aligns with their values. The Gift of Mortality. Seneca wrote on the shortness of life, not to make us sad about dying, but to make us excited about living. Your mortality is not a curse, it's the thing that makes life precious. If you had infinite time, nothing would matter. Every choice would be reversible, every moment replaceable. But because your time is limited, every day matters. Every choice counts. Every moment is irreplaceable. This is the final wisdom from Seneca: life is not short for those who know how to use it. You have enough time to live a magnificent life. You have enough time to love deeply, create meaningfully, grow continuously, and contribute significantly. You just have to stop wasting it. The commitment, right now, before you move on to the next thing, make one commitment to living more consciously. What will you stop doing that doesn't serve your authentic life? What will you start doing that you've been postponing? How will you be more present in your remaining days? Write it down. Speak it out loud. Make it real. Because as Seneca reminds us, nothing, to my way of thinking, is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. Your life is happening now. Don't miss it. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough if you know how to use it. Seneca. Thank you for watching.